tsunami hits that will be caused by the Russian submarines, all of the water that will come in inland will come in as far as 300 miles from Virginia Beach area. This I have definitely been shown. I've seen the hills and the mountains covered completely up. This is the area that the United States was dedicated to the Lord, but the witchcraft in that area is more dominant than the glory of the Lord. So he's going to just completely do away with it. Another place that I've been shown because of witchcraft is going to be in complete destruction that I've also talked about before is New York. And I've made many videos about this as well. This will also include New Jersey. When this area is annihilated, it will leave nothing but a radioactive field and massive, massive death. Now that I've talked about radioactivity from bombs and so forth, I need to point out to you another map, the nuclear power plant maps. So now let's take a look at it. If you look at it on the East Coast where we're talking now, you will see, starting with Florida, there are power plants in that state. There's 5 of them. So what do you think will happen when that state goes underwater? Now let's look at the map from Maine to Georgia. This is the floodplain. They will take out one power plant in New Hampshire, Rhode Island. They will flood the land here, and they will take out one on the coastway, probably 2 in New Jersey and Delaware, if not more. Maryland 2, 4 in Virginia or more, 2 in Carolina, North Carolina or more, 2 or more in South Carolina, 4 in Georgia, 5 or 6 in New York, folks. This is a death warrant if there's any of you left on the East Coast. Now, for all of you that have been asking me if you should move off the East Coast, here is your answer. Now let us look over at the west coast of California all the way up to Washington State up into Alaska. There will be a large amount of earthquakes at any given time among this pathway, as you can see in these 2 maps. I have been shown that California will split off up to the mountain area into the ocean, as I have said in my past videos pertaining to California. There are still these 3 missiles that are also headed towards California as well, and this will happen very soon. This will be the beginning signal of the invasion of our once great country. The state of Washington will be affected by earthquakes and Mount St. Helens. This will affect the other states around it and the water supply in this area. This will also affect the nuclear reactors in that state. California has 4 nuclear reactors that will be affected, making this state from the midway down unlivable. But please know these bombs, when they hit, will have nuclear warheads. I have been warning you to please get out of California, and now I'm asking you to get off the west coast. This includes Alaska, for I've also made a video about Alaska, giving you warnings about that state as well. Within this video, I included the tunnel system that everyone is just now talking about. This tunnel system has been there for a long time and well used. But again, I'm telling you, they are full of men from many nations. They have our borders surrounded. This is old news. Alaska will also suffer earthquakes. People, all of this is part of our punishment as a nation. All we have been seeing is nothing what is yet to come to us worldwide. Get off the borders of this nation. Warning, warning, warning. Now, let us look at the state of Arizona. You say, oh, Rupi, now you're talking crazy. That's not a border state. Well, not yet. Told you I don't understand everything that I've been shown. So let us start by saying Mexico will go underwater. I do not understand everything, as I said from the start, but I have to say this: Mexico will go underwater. This I was not shown personally by Yahweh, but I was told by more than one person that Mexico will go underwater. But this has to be so because everything else he has shown me, I've had a confirmation on, and he is not a man that he could lie. He has shown me that parts of Arizona will go underwater. How, I didn't ask. I just had this on a shelf for such a time as this of making of this video. So now let's look at this map that it shows in Arizona. Right here where he showed me that this water is going to pour in, there are 3 nuclear reactors right there. We're also reminding you that the state of Nevada, one of America's biggest playgrounds, will be taken out. Not the whole state, just the playground area. Not by flood, not by quake, but by fire and missiles. So now let's bring back up a whole map of the United States, and I'm going to show you what it's going to look like after all this happens. And then I have a lot more to share with you that I've been shown. I tell you, this is the most staggering video I've ever made, and one of the hardest. I believe it was on May the 10th. A booming sound was heard over the Virginia Beach area. It was unexplained. It shook home, sounding like a bomb going off, but felt like an earthquake. People, warnings are coming to the East Coast. They're saying it was a meteorite zooming across the air, but they don't have any proof of that. It's just like the sound that was in Florida. They're just pulling these answers out of the air. The link to this is below in the box. I have this card, and I don't know why I kept holding on to it, but it's showing the United States is sick, and I kept hearing in my spirit, this is true. So I held on to it. I know that famine is on its way. The blowing of all these levees in the past few days has set this in motion, for the farmers cannot plant, and the flooding has killed the plants that were set in the ground. And I know that once the farmers do get their plants started, it's going to be a very short growing season. This is a warning to all farmers worldwide. Now, I don't know what's coming to other countries, but storms, floods, and freak unexpected weather like never before is coming to America. This is what I heard in my spirit. Like plagues, as the Bible says, deadly pestilence, which is epidemic and incurable diseases we have never heard of, or the bringing back of old plagues that we thought were long gone. The confirmation for this, I just had to post this link. The name of it is Prophet Byron Carn. The link is in the box. If you don't look at any of the other links that I have in that box, I'm begging you to watch that one, because it'll be worth your time. Now, right after Dave Wilkerson's death, on April the 28th, a newspaper article appeared in the Israel Today newspaper. The link to this is also in the box. They published an interview that they had with Dave Wilkerson, republished it from 2003. I'm going to put this on the monitor so you can read it. Now, if the words are moving too fast, because I get a lot of complaints with everything that I've ever published on my channel that has words in it, everyone complains about the words moving too fast, they can't read them. So if you have this problem with this video, use the pause button, and then you can read it at your own will and move it along little by little. So here we go. I'll let you read it now. I wanted you to see that article because it has great bearing for the rest of this video. There was a prophecy a few years back that said, if you touch my land, I will also touch yours. And now I found this article that says the Palestinians are saying that Jerusalem is already ours. There's a link to this also in the box. The third Palestinians, all of the Arabs are all stirred up, and they're saying that they're going to march on Israel on May the 15th. The link to that is also in the box, because they're tired of having Jerusalem divided. And they say it's theirs, and they're going to take it. And you're saying, okay, Ruby, you're giving me all this information, and the title of this video was the United States will be split 3 ways, and you haven't told us how. All of this is related. It's all related. Because the United States is going to be split 3 ways. First, it's going to have all this catastrophe going on and all this chaos. And then we're going to go over and touch Israel. If you know anything about the Bible, God says if you touch Israel, you've touched me. They're angry because they're saying in 1948, when all these Palestinians were forced by the Zionists to get out of their homes, it wasn't right. And they want their homes and their land back. They're going to throw them out. And they want all the world to know that they're taking their land back. This is what this march is about. Now, it doesn't matter that Zionists are not the real Jews. And I know this is going to make a lot of people mad. On March the 14th, 1999, the European Society declared a statement that Jerusalem, in theory, is an occupied territory. It is not the capital of Israel, and it does not even belong to Israel. This was a provoking announcement. It swings the door off the hinges for Muslim and Vatican claims on Jerusalem. Gradually, the EU has become more and more empathetic to the Muslim side and more criticizing to the Israel side, opening the world to end-time events. At the World Summit on September 2005, there was an announcement made. Jerusalem is the eternal, undivided capital of Israel. But this is not true when even it stands not as the capital of the nation in the world's eyes, but is a fallen state. Ahmadinejad claims he has personally positioned the world for the coming Mahdi. In order to save the world, it must be in the state of chaos and overthrow. Ahmadinejad claims he was directed by Allah to pave the way for the amazing appearance of the Mahdi. He says the Mahdi appears